What's going on, everyone? We're welcome back to part 4 of my Uncle Tom review. Let's get into it.
Hello, is this Latasha Fields? Hi, this is Bob Woodson. How are you? Good. Listen, I want to invite you and your husband to join this consortium of ours. We're calling it the 1776 Consortium to respond to the 1619 piece that was done in the New York Times. I'm not interested in engaging in debate with them. I'm saying we need an accurate portrayal of slavery, but it doesn't totally define the black condition. We wanted people to understand that the future of black America is not defined by slavery, but by the kind of things we did in response to these conditions, similar to what you and your husband has overcome.
I wish that it would be mandatory reading, not just in the black community, but all across America, to read the autobiography of Booker T. Washington. Here was a man that was born in the...
Side note, as a project for Black History Month, our teachers challenged us not to use Martin Luther King because, during Black History Month, everyone does Martin Luther King. So she says that everyone has to do something different. And you can't use the same, so we all had to research, and then you had to put on a board which figure of black history you will look into. And if someone already got that person, you can't pick them. And I landed upon Booker T. Washington. I think maybe I was influenced from I think I was in 3rd grade when I did this project. So I think I was influenced since then with Booker T. Washington's mentality, his approach to integration, and how exactly he wanted to overcome racism. His way, in my view, would have worked if Black America was more patient. But I believe we'll get into it in this video. But let's get back into it.
...into slavery. And when he learned that he was free, his number one quest, his number one goal was to get an education. He walks from present-day West Virginia to Hampton, Virginia, to Hampton Institute, so that he could show himself qualified to enter that institution and get an education. When he established Tuskegee Normal and Industrial Institute, it wasn't just about the book learning, it was about industrial learning. It was about people being able to take an education and develop themselves into entrepreneurs so that they could have self-reliance.
Self-reliance.
There was a schism between Booker T. Washington and W.E.B. Du Bois.
Yeah.
Booker T. Washington believed in the ability of someone to get out there and work within the system, show their value by the talents that they were able to develop, by the businesses they were able to create and open. The W.E.B. Du Bois faction more so believed in that.
And this is the faction that started the it's on the screen, the NAACP. This is the lens of history that people want to focus on. I think this is one of his I don't know. CRT, all that stuff came from this school of thought, this divergence from Booker T. Washington. I believe.
Protest-oriented, demanding of rights and things of this nature. Yeah. This is where you get the sellout Uncle Tom and all of these things that they use to demonize Booker T. Washington. But when you think about it, in the long run, who was right? W.B. Du Bois was an avowed socialist who became an avowed communist who renounced his American citizenship.
See, I have more respect for this guy than the everyday leftist nowadays, because he had enough respect that if I believe this country is the worst thing since evil itself, why would I want to be a citizen of this country? And he revoked his citizenship. I have more respect for him than any of these liberals that come here complaining about America, that it's so bad here. Okay, why you don't leave? Oh. Come on. Put your money where your mouth is. If it's that bad here, I'll give you a ticket to go whatever you think is best. But, if you say that, it's racist. You telling me to go back to Africa? I don't know if you're from Africa. I don't think you're from Africa. But hey, whatever.
But the institution that Booker T. Washington established is still there today. We need to go back and understand what Booker T. Washington was really, his philosophy, what he was trying to get us to understand. There's nothing wrong with hard work. There's nothing wrong with working your way up from the bottom, much the same as his autobiography says, up from slavery.
This man's black excellence.
I had a college student ask me one time, how did you deal with color and race when you were climbing the corporate ladder? My answer, I didn't. Let them deal with it.
Because racism is a personal problem. Oh, you mad because I came out a different color than you? Okay. Bye. Now, if you want to come scrap with me, okay, that's a different issue. You want to come attack me, you want to vandalize my house, that's a different issue. But, I don't like you because you black. Sounds like a personal problem. Same thing. If someone come on my comment section, I don't like the sound of your voice, then don't watch me. Simple. And you want me to base my whole political philosophy based on that? Based on something that's been whittled down from institutional power to a subjective view. And if you choose as an individual to act on that subjective view, you'll be met with harsh and severe consequences. And that's what you want me to worry about. Priorities, guys, priorities.
I didn't focus on that. I didn't have time. I went to the president of the Pillsbury Company and said, I need to get involved in some other aspects of the corporation because I want to run one of the business units one day. So he said, we need a lot of leadership in Burger King. You have to go and spend 2 weeks at Whopper College. There really is a Whopper College in Miami. I graduated summa cum laude. I was working for the Department of the Navy. The same day that I started, another white gentleman named Robert started working there also. We had very similar jobs. So the first 12 months, I got outstanding performance 4 quarters in a row. Second year, outstanding performance 4 quarters in a row. And Robert got outstanding performance. But Robert was getting his GS salary increase at least 2 months sooner than me. So I went to Wayne, my supervisor, and said, Robert and I are both doing a great job.
Wayne.
He said, yeah. So why is he getting little increases quicker than me? He said, he has a master's degree. I said, oh, it's not because he's white? Nope. He has a master's degree. So you know what I did?
What did he do, guys? Did he complain? Oh, white privilege. No, you know, it's a conservative documentary. You know where it's going to go. We all know where it's going to go. He got the degree, and he got the outcome he was looking for. That's simple conservative logic. We're not saying any disparity. I'm sorry I keep doing this, but every time I read this book, it just further emphasizes this worldview of mine that race can't be the only factor when I'm considering anything that disproportionately affects us. I can't at this point because it's so easy to know. It's the most obvious thing to notice. Let's dig deeper. Let's continue.
I didn't get mad. I went and got me a master's degree.
Don't get mad. Get even.
There are only 4 rungs to this ladder.
Went back, sat down with Wayne. I said, well, I got a master's degree. I said, the next time you have opening for a promotion, I said, keep me in mind. See you around. And not long after that, they had a special project called Rocket Assisted Projector. They had to have someone who was going to be the GS-13 supervisory mathematician to do the special ballistics on this rocket assisted projector. I got the promotion. And I had 8 white people working for me. It was all about performance, not the color of your skin. So since I now had that master's degree and I had proved myself, I got the job. When I decided to leave Dalburn, never forget the department head, and he called me in for an exit interview. And I never forget Russ. I think he's deceased now. He said, you know, you have taught me something. I said, what? He said, I had never worked with a black person before. You taught me don't judge somebody by the color of their skin.
That's the conservative. Hard work. Because no matter how much someone can, everyone can have a theory. Oh, your life is gonna be crap because you're black. Racism gonna hit them some way, somehow. You know how many people, how many of my friends, they get mad at me and call me the exception to the rule. And I said, it's sad that you have to say that me having a good credit score, me earning the money that I earned, me having a stay-at-home wife at my age, 26 years old, that I am a exception to the rule when I'm a college dropout. All I did was work hard. All I did was make different choices than you guys did. You guys went to school. You guys got student loan debt. You guys didn't do anything with your degree. But the fact that I had the ambition and the drive to actually execute on on my plans or what I wanted to do, and you didn't, that all of a sudden I'm supposed to be an exception to the rule and my experience is supposed to be disregarded because it doesn't meet the expected outcome for a black American.
I grew up primarily around black people, primarily in what we call the Afrocentric perspective. That means everything in life was seen from the lens of being black in America. I used to have gold teeth in my mouth. What? I got Young Savage tattooed across my stomach. I got my hood tattooed on my forearm. So I kind of had this whole hip hop culture, negative, angry mentality. I grew up believing that white people did not like black people, and that no matter what you did in life, the white man is gonna hold you down.
My parents didn't teach me that I was a victim, but there were other influences that did. Whether we're talking about uncles and aunts in the hip hop industry, the media, it painted a picture of the black man in America as being in a constant state of distress, a constant state of disadvantage. And I have relatives of mine who bought into that message. And I even bought into that message before I was born again.
The only people I knew who existed in my life and who I could pick to be role models were athletes and rappers.
So many of you guys have watched my political awakening. It's
so sad to say that's the experience of most black men. And I would say, and people might hate my take on this, but I'm saying it's due to us majority growing up in single parent households, right? And for positive male role models, usually single moms. I'm a product of a single motherhood, so I believe I could speak on this. At least there's one thing I can speak on, is that they would thrust us in front of like coaches, and because those are the male figures that was around us, right? But for me, it was slightly different, right? Because I had my uncle who's been married to my aunt for 22 years. And they were like, because I always felt jealous of their kids. I'm like, oh, they got two parents. They got, right? So it was never, because they're a different color. I never had that experience. I saw, damn, they have both their parents in the house. Damn, they had internet. I don't have internet in my house. I used to always feel jealous with my cousins that they had such a good life. And I'm here struggling with my mom, who's a single mom. And I always saw that is the fact that, I don't have my dad don't live with us no more. My mom and dad are divorced now. Right? And I always had my dad in the, obviously he's always coaching me, whatever. But I never felt the need to look up to strangers for inspiration or how to be. So I never really bought into hip hop culture and all that stuff. People always call me white, right? I never like wearing graphic tees. I like to wear simple colors. My wife always makes fun of me that she said, you kind of dress like a white guy. But I can't help it. It's just like, this is how my uncle dressed. My uncle, church going. I think he's a pastor now. He dressed like this. He dressed like, how Christian men dress, church guys dress, and I dress like that. I like business casual though, but yeah, those who influenced me, and I was never the cool kid in school because of how I dressed. I got picked on for that. But one thing the hood taught me is like, I know how to stand up for myself. I can talk mad crap when I'm really pissed off. But hey, we all like, it's how you It's your perspective on it. Now I look back on those days fondly. I'm like, damn. Some of the stuff kids used to pick fun of me for is like retarded. But I could look back and laugh at that and I'm like, hey, those experiences made me who I am today. I don't regret my life at all. I would not change anything about my life. Because I believe those struggles, those experiences made me who I am today. And I think instead of worrying about something that can never be changed, aka the past, I look forward to the future. Now, my son, shit. I always tell my wife I'm jealous of my son, that he's going to get the life that I wish I had. And that's all we can do as parents. That's all we can do, the best that we can. If you're doing that, I have no problems with you. But all I ask is you set up your kids to have a better foundation than you did. That's all I ask, regardless if you're a single mom or not. Let's continue.
I've been pretty much in front of everybody on the stage when I've had this reckoning, but there's one person who totally transformed the way that I thought. It was a video that I saw on YouTube, and it was Larry Elder. Oh my God, they always call me the sunken place team. I think it's so funny. Larry Elder is my mentor. I can call him anytime about any topic because there are still spots of ignorance that I have. I'm having to contend with the fact that all I have is the media narrative of things, and he lived through it, he saw it, and he'll tell me exactly what to look up and research.
Larry Elder was at the forefront of being a thought leader in terms of questioning prevalent narratives of the Black community, especially with regards to individual accountability.
If you have parents who care about education, there are books around and you're immersed in it, you're going to have a better situation than somebody else with the same IQ whose parents don't have that kind of motivation.
That statistic is true in my life. My mom, from an early age, she hammered into us, you need to learn how to read. Primarily so we could master English, but she hammered it, hey, you need to learn how to read. And I learned how to read by the 2nd grade. And I think that's why I'm so fond of books now. Like, I'm not going to show the book again because I'm pretty sure I pissed off somebody already in the conversation. If you show that book one more time. But I'm in love with reading books. Right. And there's a quote I saw somewhere with Frederick Douglass. I might be paraphrasing. I might mess it up. If you know the actual quote, put it in the comment section. But it went something like this. If you know how to read, if a man knows how to read, he'll forever be free. I paraphrased it. It didn't quite go like that. But that's the sentiment that I gained from that perspective. Frederick Douglass. If you find the actual quote, paste it in the comment section below. I really would appreciate it. And thank you. Let's continue.
Who don't immerse you in education. Environment absolutely has a role.
He provided a huge part of my awakening. One video of him with Dave Rubin, and I went, oh my goodness, I've been so ignorant.
You wouldn't not acknowledge that there are some systemic issues.
Give me an example. Tell me what you think the most systemic racist issue is. What is it?
Well, I would say that because Black people in many cases, were descendants of slaves, that racism as an institution, that it just, a certain amount of it just exists.
2015? Give me the most blatant racist example you can come up with right now.
I think you could probably find evidence that, in general, cops are more willing to shoot if the perpetrator is Black than white.
What's your basis for saying that? Last year...
Well, look, I know a lot of people would say, look what's going on in Chicago.
I know what they would say. Yeah. I'm talking about what the facts are. 965 people were shot by cops last year and killed. 4% of them were white cops shooting unarmed Blacks. In Chicago in 2011, 21 people were shot and killed by cops. In 2015, there were 7. In Chicago, which is a third Black, a third white, and a third Hispanic, 70% of the homicides are Black on Black. About 40 per month, almost 500 per year last year in Chicago, and 75% of them are unsolved. Where is the Black Lives Matter on that?
Because there's a culture of no snitching in the Black community. So if there's a culture of no snitching, there's no accountability in the Black community. Always when I make a video. But there's no accountability in the Black community. Like, you let these people run free, they get to shoot up, whatever. And then I had somebody in my comment section, I forgot who it was. It was recently when I'm shooting this video, at the time I'm shooting this video. But he said, shame on you. You believe the police has a right to kill a criminal? I'm not saying police has a right to kill a criminal just because he's a criminal. But I know action has consequences. At the end of the day, you choose to do something, you don't comply, the police is trying to comply, and if you're a threat to more than one, like if you're a threat to other people, You put the cop in a difficult position where he chooses, do I spare your life at the expense of bringing potential harm to everyone else, or do I neutralize you and put you at the chance of where you die? They don't try to cast me in a straw man when I'm not making an argument like that. Everything I'm saying, I try to be as nuanced and as specific as I can about what point I'm trying to make. Now, it's hard to do because I'm reacting videos, and obviously you don't come here to just watch me. You came to watch the content that I'm reacting to as well. So it's hard for me to fit in all this context and all this nuance into a 1-minute statement.
The idea that a racist white cop and shooting unarmed black people is a peril to black people is BS. It's complete and total.
A white guy could say all this stuff all he wants. It's facts or it's not. But Larry Elder did something different.
What this lie does, it causes young black men to be confrontational with cops instead of cooperating, and it causes the cops to pull back for fear that they'd be called racist.
I saw a black man that reminded me of myself and other people I grew up with. And I said, he's black. He came from a similar background. How did he come to these conclusions?
That's what happened with me and my father, because one of the reasons, this is a little side note, I'm giving my personal history. At 18, when I got my voter card, my mom was pressuring me to put Democrat on it. And I was like, yo, I don't know what this party stands for. I'm not just going to put a name, like I'm not going to sign myself to a party when I don't know nothing about them. So I went independent. Later on, I found out my dad was a Republican. So I was like, okay, Dad, why? I know you voted for Obama. I know we used to be Bush fans back in the day. But since Obama, my family has been converted to Democrat. And my dad was like, nah, I'm a Republican. I'm like, oh, why are you a Republican? Because he said Republicans reward hard work. If you're hardworking, you love the Republican Party because you get to keep more of your money for your family. That's how he phrased it to me. And now growing up, now I have a family of my own. I'm 26 years old. I just recently got married. I have my 2-year-old son. I see what he's talking about now. Because now my money is getting taken by the government, and I don't agree with what the government is using it for. Sorry. Sending it to Ukraine. I'm like, how is this benefiting me and my family? Because at the end of the day, I'm looking out for me and my family. And if I believe if everyone did the same thing, we all would be a better nation for it. But Larry Elder is like, I perceive him as a mentor. Even if I never met him, if I never meet him in my life, it doesn't matter. I still view him as that because I gain so much information, so much perspective from him, because it's different from hearing from my father, who's an immigrant, and he came to America because he already has a positive view of America. He immigrated from Haiti. He voted with his feet. The most meaningful thing you can do. You use your actions to say, hey, this is the better place for me. It hit different when it was a man that's been here who's essentially a generation, like a descendant of slaves, saying the same stuff. And that's when I thought, hey, don't look at a person for like what they are physically. Go by their statement. Is their statement verifiably true or not? Does it make sense or not? It doesn't matter who mouth it came out of. If a murderer say 2 + 2 is 4, you disagree with him just because he's a murderer? You find what he do is asinine? No. You would say that's the truth. That's it. And that's how I've been finding myself focused on. Not focusing so much on race. But I'll leave it there. Catch me up on part 5. I'll see you guys on part 5. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts on the video so far. Are you liking this? Are you enjoying this? Would you want me to review more documentaries like this in the future? Let me know in the comment section. I'll probably see it when I'm done with vacation, but I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.